Now we are able to see this advanced RAG is getting a lot of traction in the market right now. Even while we are working with our clients related to AI or agentic AI applications, we are seeing or we are using a lot of advanced RAG when compared to a traditional RAG. What exactly meant by a traditional RAG? You are trying to take a document, anything, it can be a PDF or any of this data. You are trying to pass, you're gonna check that particular data, you're gonna you perform certain embedding, and even that particular embedded data you are trying to store it in a vector database or a vector store, and whenever a user is asking a question it going to perform a semantic similarity, so like, or we are able to call it as the meaning instead of just a word, it going to identify a semantic meaning, and it going to means it going to retrieve the similar words. That's what we are trying, or similar sentences or the documents which make that particular meaning. But the quality of the chatbot response is purely dependent on the documents it retrieved, so like, and how well it is able, and again that documents need to contain a valid information, it need to contain that valid information. If the information is invalid, still your LLM model going to take this particular data, it going to give a response. Now there are overall, you can see my screen, there are overall like four types of advanced RAG approaches. In order to handle the mistakes made by traditional RAG, we are able to use the very first one, we call it as hybrid RAG. And the second one, we are able to call it as a re-ranker for a RAG. And the third one is called as contact caching. And the fourth one is called as a graph RAG. So now let's try to understand one by one, step by step. For example, I'm not getting into the concepts of what exactly means. I'm not explaining all of this code, but in simple lines, let me give you a simple understanding. So we all know the concepts of RAG architecture. So what exactly a RAG architecture is? You are trying to feed an external document as a context to your LLM model. So whenever you are asking a question to an LLM model, so now what exactly? It going to look at this context or this external document plus the prompt raised by a user. Based on this two combination, it going to give a response to us. For example, it asked a question, how many leaves we have it. So there is a context plus a prompt. Based on that, it going to take the information from that external document and it going to give a response to us. Now, in lines of the quality of a RAG architecture, it is dependent upon, so like this vector similarity it is doing or the semantic similarity it is doing. Now, if you see this, now we embedded this particular document and then we are storing that into a vector store. And whenever a user is asking a question, you are able to see this line as retriever. So now it need to identify or it need to pull out two similar documents which going to make a sense to the question we asked. For example, we asked a question here, answer the question based on, here we asked a question here, tell me about A17 project. So when we asked a question about tell me about A17 project, now it need to go to, we already collected this document, and within this document we created we created embedding and we created a vector store. Now the iPhone 17 Pro, yes, it contains A17 Pro chip. Samsung may not contain A17 Pro chip. Google also may not contain A17 Pro chip, and below also A17 Pro chip. So it need to identify these two similar documents. So now, but how exactly it is identifying that similar documents? Based on the meaning, instead of just the words or the keywords, it is understanding the meaning. Based on the meaning, it is able to provide a response. So now that's what we are doing. Whenever we are asking this retriever, so this retriever going to pick two similar documents. It's going to pick two similar documents based on a meaning. So that is your regular traditional RAG. But what we are trying to do is we are adding one more. So now in case if you are unable to retrieve based on the meaning, there can be similar documents or the chunks which can have a similar meaning, but it can be about A17 or A18 chip, or it can be about A19 chip. So like, why I need to go wrong? So that's where you are trying to mix both your traditional RAG, the regular semantic meaning, plus your word based retrieval. So like, you are trying to take the based on the keywords, the regular traditional one. So based on the keywords, it is trying to, so now it is it need to pick A17. So it is taking a keyword A17, it going to identify the documents which contain a keyword A17, it going to pull it. So for that, here we are trying to take BM25 retriever, so from text document. So we want to pick two similar documents based on the keywords available in the question we asked it or the prompt we asked it. So now, so how exactly you are balancing this word-based retriever plus a semantic-based retriever is with the help of ensemble retriever. So we are trying to take ensemble retriever where we are connecting both word-based retriever and a vector-based retriever or a semantic-based retriever, and we are allocating the equal weight. So like we are giving equal weights to both the particular documents which we collected. And based on that, it is trying to provide us a particular response. So that's what basically we are trying to do in a hybrid RAG. So now only relying on your semantic RAG, it may not give us a 100% meaning. So that's where you are able to use your hybrid RAG. That is one of the approach we are using it for our clients. And the second approach going to be like re-ranker. So what exactly meant by re-ranker is, now whatever the documents, now I'm saying 2 similar documents, 10 similar documents, 20 similar documents. Now your what is that, your vector store based on, so you whenever you are asking a question, the retriever based on that particular question, it's going to pull out 50 similar documents. Now what is the guarantee that all the 50 documents are valid to your particular question or to your prompt which you asked it, they are relevant to your question? For that, we are able to use a re-ranker based model, or we are able to call it as a cross encoder. So what exactly this cross encoder going to do? Even here also we are using flash rank, or we are able to use cohere rank. So now any of these models you are able to use, which are called as a cross encoders. Whatever the means like similar words or similar documents it is able to retrieve. So now for, let's say, for a particular prompt, it collected, or for example now we said two particular similar documents. For that two similar documents, this flash rank or a cohere rank going to give us a ranking score. So if you are able to see here, we are able to ask a question. For that particular question, it is able to provide a similarity score. So now I gave a prompt, and for that prompt I asked a question. For example, for that particular prompt, it is able to pull out two similar documents. The capital of France is Paris and pyramids are in Egypt. So now it is able to give us a score. The first content going to be more similar. There is a score of 99, and the below one may not be having a higher score. So now it is able to give us even the re-ranking also can be done. And based on the re-ranking, which one is having the higher ranking only fed into your LLM model instead of feeding all of your particular documents or whatever the chunks you have it in, sorry, not chunks, yeah, we can say chunks, instead of feeding all of the chunks to your LLM model which are similar in the semantic meaning, so you are re-ranking them, and with the chunks with a higher amount of score are fed into your LLM model as a context, so we are able to get a good response. That is one another strategy which we use it, which is called as re-ranking. So for our clients to get a better answers, or to get a better responses, or to get a better generations, we will be using it. And the next one is called as graph rag. So what exactly graph rag is? When your data, for example, you are asking a question, that question is obviously not in one particular document. So now you are trying to ask a question here, for example, take this question here. Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla. Tesla is headquartered in Austin. Elon Musk also founded SpaceX, which is located in so on and so forth. You are able to see it. Now, Elon Musk is the CEO, one document or one chunk. Tesla is headquartered, another chunk. Elon Musk also founded SpaceX, another chunk. Now, here we asked a question, where are the companies founded or led by Elon Musk located? Now, in order to give this response, it is not just in one document. So, like it is related, or it need to have a graphic, or we can say we need to call it as a knowledge graph. So it's basically a knowledge graph. So like Elon Musk, what companies he's founded and what are the locations of each and every location. It's more like a graph structure. So now this kind of a document may not be, this kind of question or this kind of document structure cannot be practically retrieved using a traditional RAG. Even though we use it, we may not get that accurate responses with a traditional RAG. That's where we are able to use graph rag. So this data going to be stored in Neo4j, and where exactly you are, this is the approach basically. So now whenever your data is having a hierarchical relationship, instead of having a data, so now what we do to our clients is we understand. So what type of data they have it before you are designing a RAG architecture, we understand what type of the data they have it. So based on the data, so where what type of architecture to go with. So we call it as basically a system design. So what type of architecture we want to go with? We want to go with a traditional or a hybrid or a graph RAG. We will be deciding it. And based on that, we are trying to come up with this entire particular approach. That's what we are trying to do it. We take this particular document, we create a knowledge graph. So we create a knowledge graph so that this LLM graph transformers are able to crawl across this particular document, and it is able to pull out the information. It's going to relate it, and it's going to pull out the information for us. So this is called as graph RAG architecture. And finally, we use another one. So now we all call RAG. So basically, we are trying to provide a context. Whenever you are trying to provide a context, so it's a huge document. So whenever you are trying to feed this context to your LLM model, you are feeding a prompt, plus you're feeding a huge prompt, sorry, huge context or a lot of documents. It's going to skyrocket your billing. So it's going to means, like, obviously they are all tokens. They're going to charge a lot of money for us. For that reason, what we will be doing, we call it as a context caching. We will be trying to do. So we will be trying to save that particular context for a 60 minutes or for a 2, whichever the duration you have it. So currently we have this context caching with Gemini models currently. So we are able to, so here I'm doing it, I'm using this model. So like I'm calling it as a technical manual cache. So system instructions, context. So how much time you want to store it. So it's going to expire every 1 hour, the context going to expire. So like in this way, what exactly you're doing, whenever a user is asking a question, instead of going and costing a billing or retrieving the data, it's going to just take the cached memory and it's going to provide as a response. So now practically you're able to reduce the billing cost for your chatbots. So now if you are trying to work on a real-time projects, so like you need to have, you can explore these 4 approaches. So one is re-ranking, hybrid RAG, context caching, and graph RAG. So this is going to really help you in our real time while you are delivering projects to our clients. It's going to really help you. And in case if you want to learn more about it in depth, you can join my live classes on AI or agentic AI or data science 3.0, where we'll be learning all of them in more detail.